Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tassif starting a new live stream. The time right now is 1:02 a.m. This is February the 18th of 2026. And I hope that many of our friends can join for this conversation that we're going to have over the next hour. And maybe I'll wait for a minute as people are joining. All right. And also, there's a poll question that you can answer. The poll question that I have asked is, which party will prevail in the 2026 gubernatorial election in Wisconsin? Okay. Is it going to be the Republican Party or the Democrat Party? So you can share your thoughts with me by answering the poll question. Okay. Right now, it seems to be 50-50 split. Okay, 50% of the respondents said Republican Party, 50% said Democrat Party. All right. Okay. And I think that may be a clear indication right there that this is going to be this is an interesting race in a purple state. And there's no real way to predict who's going to win, the Republican candidate or the Democrat candidate. And we don't know who the Democrat candidate is. But anyway, as you are answering that question, let me continue with the conversation here. My friends, we are in the second half of February, okay? And time flies. And let me ask you this. Are you happy with the new year so far? I hope you are. Has the new year been good so far? We are in the second half of February. It's been a month and a half of this new year, and it seems like a lot has happened already. So I hope you all are doing well. The weather has been quite good, to be honest with you, at least here in Wisconsin. I'm not talking about the freezing weather that we had a while back, but the last few days have been pretty pleasant. The temperature has been in the 50s in the last few days, so I can't complain. I think we might have even reached 60 at some point. I don't know. I haven't kept track. It's just pleasant, all right? I'm not having to wear like heavy outerwear, heavy coats and jackets for a few days. So I'm happy about it. Now, politically, my friends, there's a lot going on. The Wisconsin gubernatorial race is heating up here in Wisconsin. Okay? Here in Wisconsin, the gubernatorial race is heating up. On the Republican side, we already know who the nominee is. The person who was the front runner for a while, now he is the only heavyweight candidate left on the GOP side right now. And that's because Donald Trump decided to make an endorsement. Donald Trump decided to make an endorsement in this race. And so the GOP candidate running for office, running for the office of the governor, is Tom Tiffany. Okay. All right. Okay. I see viewers are joining. Wonderful, my friends. If you are here for the first time, please make sure that you're subscribing to stay connected. Subscribe to be a part of this community. We're going to be talking about the gubernatorial race, and we're going to be talking about a lot more today. And then we will have more discussion about a lot of social and political issues going forward, as we have been doing for over 2 years now. I've been live streaming for over 2 years. So stay connected, and those who have already subscribed and you're just coming back to participate in the live chat, to share your thoughts and your comments and your opinions, um, welcome. Welcome, and thanks for continuing to support this channel. Okay, so Donald Trump decided to make an endorsement. He endorsed Congressman Tom Tiffany in the gubernatorial race in Wisconsin. Now, Congressman Tiffany is giving up his House seat. Okay, he's a congressman. Uh, uh, he represents the 7th congressional district in Wisconsin, but he's giving that up to run for governor. Now, his seat in the 7th congressional district, that's up in northern Wisconsin. Okay, for anyone who is not familiar with the congressional map of Wisconsin, let me just say it's in northern Wisconsin. It's a pretty large district when you look at the when you look at the geography. Very big land area, the 7th district, and it's far up north in northern Wisconsin. Beautiful area. Okay, for anyone who has not visited northern Wisconsin, let me just say it's a very beautiful area. So that's where the district is. And it's going to be a very interesting House race in the 7th district. Okay. It's a red district. Congressman Tiffany has been there for a while. Now he's running for governor. And so now there's an intense race in the 7th congressional district, a race to replace Tom Tiffany. Okay, and so I believe there are 4 Republican congressional candidates running in that race. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it's 5. I think it's 5. So 5 candidates, 4 or 5. You know, I have to double check and give you the exact number. But I think 4 or 5 candidates from the Republican side running for that House seat in the 7th district. And I think everyone just assumes that whoever wins the GOP primary in the 7th congressional district will become the next congressman or congresswoman. It's such a red district. I mean that is Trump territory. Clearly, very different from the 2nd congressional district. Hold on a second. Very different from the 2nd congressional district in Wisconsin. Why do I mention the 2nd district? Because the 2nd district is the district where I live. Okay, so I'm a voter in the 2nd congressional district in Wisconsin, which is in south central Wisconsin. Okay, that's where I am. I'm in Madison. So Madison and the surrounding areas are in the 2nd congressional district. And this is a heavily blue district. Democrat heavy. There are many Republicans in this district, but when you look at the total number, it's heavily Democrat, heavily blue. And the 7th district is just the opposite. The 7th district is heavily Republican. That's Trump territory. Okay, in the 7th district, you know, you got hardworking Americans, you got big big chunks of land, a lot of farmers. You've got a lot of hunters. You've got people who absolutely love their Second Amendment. You just have amazing people in the 7th congressional district, people who consistently vote red, people who strongly support Donald Trump, people who support the flag, people who every day They work hard to protect our God-given freedom, and just an overall amazing district, the 7th district. 2nd district also a wonderful district, but you know what? This is a challenging area for the Republicans. As I said, don't think that we don't have Republicans in the 2nd district of Wisconsin. We do, many, many. I mean, you're looking at a lot of urban areas. You're looking at, Dane County, Madison, and surrounding areas, very, very populated compared to other cities and towns in northern Wisconsin. But uh, when you look at the percentages, they're just a higher percentage of Democrat votes than Republicans. So anyway, talking about the 7th district, great people and people who consistently vote red. So it's a very, very safe territory for the Republicans in any election. And that's why we are seeing such an intense GOP primary. And so if you want to follow the updates of a very interesting GOP primary, just follow the news coming out of the 7th congressional district. All right, it's going to be an interesting one. Anyway, Tom Tiffany running for governor, and on the Democrat side, Governor Tony Evers, the incumbent, he is not running for re-election. Okay, he is wrapping up his 2nd term in office. He was first elected in 2018, and I remember that election night in 2018. Okay, election night, November 2018. I remember I was at an election night party, and a lot of people assumed that the Republican governor at the time will be reelected, but that did not happen. The Republican incumbent at the time was defeated. The Democrat candidate, Tony Evers, he won the election, and then January 2019, Tony Evers, came to power, and then he was re-elected. Tony Evers, he was running for re-election in 2022. He was re-elected, and in Wisconsin, there's no term limit for governors. And in certain states, you see term limit of 2 terms. So governors, they serve 2 terms, and then they're gone because they can't run for a 3rd term. In Wisconsin, there's no such term limit for governors. But Tony Evers decided not to seek re-election, and that's why there's an intense battle going on among a lot of Democrats to, among Democrats, because there are many candidates who are running for governor from the Democrat side, and we don't know who the nominee will be. I mean, a whole bunch of people running, people who have name recognition statewide, people who don't have name recognition statewide. Everyone's running. There's a former lieutenant governor, Democrat lieutenant governor, former, who's running. The current lieutenant governor, Democrat, is also running. There's a county executive who's running. There's a current state senator, a current state representative, and more. You can check out the list. I'm not going to go through the list of all the Democrats who are running. You can just go Google the information, and draw your own conclusion about the candidates. So a lot of Democrats running, and no one knows who the nominee will be. I don't think there's a clear front runner. Okay, which is very interesting. I have seen races in the past where you have a lot of Democrats running, but there appears to be a clear front runner, somebody who's clearly ahead than the others. But in this case, I don't think there's a clear Democrat frontrunner for the gubernatorial race in Wisconsin. So it's going to be very interesting to see who eventually gets the Democrat Party's approval um, to be on the ballot in November 2026. Um, anyway, the Wisconsin governor's race is going to be one of the most watched races in the country. I believe so. I mean, just wait and see. There's going to be, in the months ahead, there's going to be yard signs, lawn signs, banners, and posters, and flyers and brochures, and I mean political ads all over the state, all over the state. Um, let me see some of the comments that people have. I'm seeing comments. Wonderful. Let's see. Someone's asking, "Aren't you Canadian?" No, I'm American. Okay. I mean, somebody just made an assumption. No, I am in Wisconsin, which is an American state. I'm an American citizen. Okay. Um, I'm not in Canada. All right. Okay, by the way, keep commenting, all right? Keep commenting. I would appreciate that very, very much. And don't forget to subscribe. All right, let me continue. We are getting ready for a very intense election season in Wisconsin. And I've lived in Wisconsin for many years, and I've seen many very intense political races. And 2026 is going to be extremely intense, I think. I mean, for the first time in a long time, it sounds like, in addition to the gubernatorial race, I think there's going to be a battle for the control of the state Senate in Wisconsin. That's right. The Republicans, for many years, have enjoyed solid majorities in the state assembly and the state Senate. For many years, the Republicans have enjoyed really, really strong majorities in the assembly and the state Senate. And I'm not talking about just barely having a majority. No, like majority with strong margins. And a lot was accomplished because for a long time there was a Republican governor, Republican majority in the state assembly, Republican majority in the state Senate. So a lot was accomplished. But then in 2018, the Republican governor lost re-election. So a Democrat governor came to power. But the state legislature continued to be in Republican control. But then the state legislative map changed, okay? And it's a long story how that happened. I'm not going to go into the discussion. I'm not going to talk about judicial matter. I'm not going to talk about the legislative history and the political tension and everything that took place that resulted in the change in the state legislative map in Wisconsin. I'm not going to go into that history, but it's unfortunate. Okay, and you know, I say that I'm a Republican. I'm a Republican. I've seen the great things that the Republicans have achieved. But then it was very sad to see the state legislative map change, and unfortunately, the change in the state legislative map made it very difficult for the GOP to defend some of the very important seats, okay? And so because of that change, because of the map change, the GOP ended up losing some very crucial seats, and then the size of the majority in the assembly decreased, and then the size of the majority in the state senate decreased. And as we look at 2026, it's going to be quite challenging for the GOP to defend some of the seats that we currently have in the state assembly and the state senate. And so the Democrats are going to try to win the majority in the state senate. They're going to try to flip the majority, um, take over control from the Republicans. And so what the Republicans have to do is campaign 24/7. Campaign 24/7 to defend the challenging districts, and to try to hold on to the majority in the state senate. Okay, right now in the assembly, the Republicans have 54 seats out of 99 seats. That means the Democrats have 45 seats. So 45 and 54. I mean, there's still a very nice margin, I think. And so I feel confident that we, the Republicans, will continue to hold on to the majority in the state assembly. But then again, nothing can be taken for granted. Okay, we cannot just assume that we're gonna continue to be in the majority in the state assembly. But I do feel that the Republicans have a pretty good chance of holding on to the majority. Now, on the state Senate side, things are much more challenging. On the state Senate side, the Republicans have 18 seats, 18 seats. And the Democrats have 15 seats. So there's not a lot of difference between 15 and 18. It's a narrow majority for the Republicans, a very, very narrow majority. I mean, 18 seats versus 15 seats that the Democrats have. If the Democrats gain 2 seats statewide, if the Democrats can flip 2 seats, they'll capture the majority, and that's going to be devastating for the Republicans if that happens. If the Democrats can flip 2 seats this November, then they'll get control, and it's going to be extremely devastating for the Republicans. And the Democrats they are aggressively campaigning to try to capture the state Senate majority. And so that's why I say that the Republicans will have to work 24/7. 24/7, campaign 24/7. There's no other alternative. It's going to have to be a big team effort for the Republicans to defend the current state Senate seats. It's going to be very stressful, and people realize that it's not going to be easy to defend state legislative seats, especially given the fact that the new map is not favorable for the GOP in Wisconsin. Okay, let me see if people have questions. Do you have questions, my friends? Comments for me? Questions? Go ahead, my friends. Write whatever questions, whatever comments you have. Go ahead. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead. Someone's asking about my language skills. I can speak 4 languages, all right? 4 languages. That's right. 4 languages that I can speak. How many can you speak? maybe more, right? 10? I don't know. Okay, let me just continue. Um, on Saturday, I attended the Republican Party of Dane County's caucus. Now, where's Dane County? Dane County is where I live, in the 2nd Congressional District. Okay, you look at the city of Madison, which is the capital of Wisconsin. The city of Madison is located in Dane County. Okay, so Dane County in southern Wisconsin, um, they have an active Republican Party chapter, Republican Party of Dane County, and RPDC. That's what it's called in short. So RPDC had a caucus on Saturday, and I attended that caucus, and I can tell you that there's optimism as we look at November of 2026. There's optimism, but people also understand that the next few months leading up to the election in November will be extremely challenging. There's going to have to be, constant work, constant campaigning. There's no room for, rest, to be honest with you. It's going to have to be, as I said, 24/7 effort. And even before we get to the November 2026 election, there's a big Supreme Court race taking place. The election is in April. And that's going to be a heated one as well. So 2026 in Wisconsin, it's not just the November election that people are looking at, it's also the April election. All right, that's right. There's a spring election in Wisconsin this year. And there's a big statewide race that's going to be decided in the spring. It's the race for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And you understand, whenever there's a Supreme Court race, you understand what's at stake. The result of the state Supreme Court race is going to have statewide impact. Go ahead, my friends. Write whatever comments you have, whatever questions you have. Please subscribe if you have not done so yet. Go ahead. Share your comments. Okay, so April 2026, there's a state Supreme Court race. The election will be held in April 2026. And that's going to be a heated one. Sadly, over a period of many years, the conservatives in Wisconsin have been losing seats on the state Supreme Court. And I may have talked about this before, and it's sad how that's been going on. For some reason, the state Supreme Court election results over the last few years have not been favorable for the conservatives. Just a few years ago, we had a solid conservative majority on the state Supreme Court in Wisconsin. And then we kept losing elections in the spring, and that's when the Supreme Court elections are held in the spring. So we kept losing one after another, and we eventually lost the majority. And now we're at a point that if the conservative-backed candidate wins this April, okay, we will then successfully defend a seat, but we still cannot win back the majority this year. So the seat that is up for election in April, that's a seat that is currently held by a conservative Supreme Court justice. And the conservative Supreme Court justice decided not to seek re-election. So that's a seat that we currently have. And so if the conservative-backed candidate wins, we just hold on to what we already have, and we're not making any additional gains. So it's about defending a seat that we have, rather than trying to win a seat that is held by a liberal. So Um, if the conservative-backed candidate wins, the conservatives then successfully defend a seat. But if the conservative-backed candidate loses, then the liberals will expand their majority on the state Supreme Court. And so this is going to be a very critical election in April of 2026. And if you're asking me for a prediction, let me tell you, I don't have any prediction for this one. I will not try to predict who's going to win the state Supreme Court race. Is it going to be the conservative candidate or the liberal candidate? I do not know. I mean, unfortunately, I've seen a series of losses in the past few Supreme Court elections for the conservatives, losses. And so I don't want to make any prediction at this time, but I'm paying close attention to this Supreme Court race because it's so important, it's so crucial for the Republicans, for the conservatives to win this. So I'm paying close attention. But going back to the gubernatorial race, I think that is going to be the biggest item on the ballot in November. And as I told you, I remember in 2018 when the incumbent Republican governor at the time lost re-election. And so now Tom Tiffany is trying to win back the governor's seat for the Republicans. Tom Tiffany, congressman running for governor, and it's going to be a very interesting and intense gubernatorial race. Absolutely. And I see Tom Tiffany is working very hard. He knows what's at stake, our state's future. He understands the importance of this race because there's been a Democrat governor for almost 8 years. And if the Republicans lose this gubernatorial race, then there's going to be a Democrat governor for 4 more years. And it's going to be quite devastating for our state because we've seen that the Democrats are not good in governing. Okay, I mean, you look at Minnesota, what a complete mess. What a complete mess Minnesota is. Minnesota, where the Democrats are in control, the Democrats are in charge, and the Democrats have caused so much damage in Minnesota. And so if there's if after Tony Evers' 8 years, if there's another Democrat governor who gets into office, it's going to be devastating for Wisconsin. And so the Republicans must win in November 2026. It's going to be extremely important. So, my friends, clearly a lot going on in Wisconsin. Of course, there are other local races this spring in April that also matter a great deal. Every race matters, city council, mayor, village board. Every race matters because local government plays a huge role in our lives. The day-to-day running of operations in a city or a village depends on local elected officials and their job performance. So while you are paying attention to the governor's race, while you are paying attention to the state Supreme Court race, while you are paying attention to the House races, also pay attention to the local government races. Because local government is close to the people, right? Your mayor, your city council, they're closer to the people, and they take care of the everyday things, the day-to-day things in a city or a village or a town. And so it's going to be very important to elect the right people for local government positions. All right. Okay, my friends, let me see what questions people have. All right. Okay. All right. Some folks don't like my hat, huh? Why not? Uh, oh, Lawrence is here. Lawrence likes my hat. Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate it. Yeah, ask me whatever questions you have. Go ahead. Lawrence says Trump 2028. I love that comment. Uh, I love that comment, Lawrence. Trump 2028. Okay, any questions? Ask me meaningful questions and I will answer. By the way, anyone from Wisconsin here? Okay, I'm seeing some pretty harsh comments here. People who clearly do not like me. All right, it's kind of sad. Um, they don't like my conservative viewpoints. Oh, we got someone here says hi from Wisconsin. That's wonderful. Where in Wisconsin are you from? Which part? Um, just mention the county if you can. Okay, we got someone who says Wisconsin Illinois border, but Illinois. Oh, okay. So where in Illinois are you? Which city? Which town? Oh, we got someone from Kenosha. Hey, that's awesome, Kenosha County. So where in Kenosha? Which the city of Kenosha, or are you in Pleasant Prairie, or somewhere else? I love Kenosha. Kenosha is such a wonderful place. The entire county. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of development happening in Kenosha. So yeah, let me know where exactly. City of Kenosha, Pleasant Prairie, or somewhere else. Lawrence is from DeSoto, Wisconsin. That is that's a very beautiful place on the Mississippi River. Very beautiful place on the Mississippi River. Uh, it's in Vernon County, which anyone who wants to visit Wisconsin, you gotta go check out Vernon County. Um, just a wonderful, wonderful place, and Mississippi River. It's just amazing. Just amazing. Okay. Um, yeah, Vernon County. I mean, if you are in Vernon, you gotta check out Viroqua. Check out Westby. Westby is a beautiful place. Um, Lots of hardworking people there. Farms, small businesses. Great food. And then if you go south of Vernon, you're in Crawford County. You got to go visit Prairie du Chien. All right. If you are in Wisconsin, if you're visiting Wisconsin and you have not been to Prairie du Chien, what are you doing? You got to go to Prairie du Chien. Okay. Anyone who's in western Wisconsin, southwest Wisconsin, you know what I'm talking about. Prairie du Chien, amazing place. I love Prairie du Chien. Okay. Um, yeah. Now I'm promoting my state. Of course I am. Of course I am. I always will. I love Wisconsin. Someone just wrote House on the Rock. That place in Spring Green, I'm so glad you mentioned it. Spring Green, Wisconsin, House on the Rock. I can't really describe how amazing House on the Rock is. Okay, if you're from outside Wisconsin, you don't know what we're talking about. Just go on the internet and search House on the Rock. You will know exactly what we're talking about. It's a must visit place. Must see. If you are in Wisconsin as a tourist, you got to check out House on the Rock. It's in Spring Green, very close to where I live, not too far. I mean, less than an hour, which is nothing. You start driving, you're listening to music, and you'll be in Spring Green, House on the Rock. Beautiful place. Okay. All right. Any other questions, any comments, anything? Ask me questions. I will look at the questions that you send. I'll try to answer. Why am I wearing my hat indoors? That's because this is not just a hat. Okay, this is not just a hat, because this is a symbol. This is a symbol of what we need to do to make our country great again. Okay, we need to support the America First agenda. And so this is not just a simple hat. This hat has a message. This hat will show you the right path, the path that we must follow to make America great again, to fulfill the America First agenda. And so this is not just a simple hat. This is special. It shows patriotism, a strong commitment to making our country great again, greater than ever before. And so that's why I wear this hat. Okay, it's not because there's a lot of sun. I mean, it's dark outside right now. I mean, come on, it's 1:46 a.m. right now in Wisconsin. Okay, so there's no sun outside. It's dark. Okay, and I'm inside, but I'm wearing this hat because it shows a strong commitment to the America First agenda. And I know many people who are watching this video, a lot of you watching this for the first time, and you're on YouTube, you're scrolling, and you come across this video, and you instantly realize that this is where you need to be. This is where you need to be, because this is where we talk about social and political issues, domestic and international. And if you are here, you know that I am committed. I am committed to do what I can to help make America great again. And so it has to be a team effort. You know, we freedom loving Americans, millions and millions of Americans. We are on the same team. We are on the same team. We care about, a strong economy. We want to see limited government. We want to see a strong military. We want to see our freedoms protected. We want to see America's position in the world becoming stronger, stronger and stronger. We want to see world peace. We want to see growth and prosperity. And so when you're watching this video and you see me wearing this hat, you instantly know that you're in the right place and that you are in the company of other Americans who also want to make America great again, greater than ever before. So this hat shows my strong confidence in the America First agenda. Okay? Does that make sense? Go ahead. Share your thoughts with me. Okay. And also, don't forget to like this video, okay? That's how you can support this channel. Doesn't cost you money. Doesn't cost you money. Lawrence says great content. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, Lawrence. Someone's asking, why will you not answer chat questions? I am answering. I can't possibly answer each and every question. And also, as I've said, the questions will have to be meaningful. Okay? I get a lot of questions that people don't really ask seriously. They're just here to be trolling. They're just here as trolls. They're trolling and they ask silly questions, which, I don't have to answer. If you ask a meaningful question that's tied to public policy, that's tied to the ongoing political issues, that's tied to our country's trajectory, that's tied to domestic or international issues, social and political issues, I'm happy to answer those questions, and I do, and I do. But I'm not going to answer questions that are silly in nature, that are not meaningful, that are not serious. Okay, thank you. Someone says, I'll debate. Debate is great. I got to tell you this. Debate is great. When I was in school, all right, growing up, when I was a young boy, um, I participated in school in debate competitions from an early age. I learned the skill of debating, and I grew up in Bangladesh, so I used to participate in parliamentary debate. Okay, parliamentary debate, very, very interesting. And also, I participated in extempore speech competition, okay, where you get a topic that you have to speak on, and you get few minutes, not a whole lot. I forget what it was, maybe like 15 minutes, maybe half an hour max. You get limited time to come up with, a speech. They'll give you a topic and say, all right, you got 20 minutes and prepare whatever you have to say. And then you go in front of an audience that's eagerly watching. They're looking at you, and you have to give a presentation. You have to speak on that subject. Okay, and it could very well be a topic um, that has a for and against position. So maybe they'll give you a topic and say, all right, now you're going to speak in favor of this, or you're going to speak against it. So it could be a public policy question, it could be a topic that's widely debated, and you not only speak on that topic, they might give you like, all right, your position will be to argue in favor of this or to argue against it. And there's a lot of pressure because you have limited time to prepare. And so debate competitions, extempore speech competitions, I have participated in those, and it's great. It's great. I highly encourage students uh, to learn the skills of debating and public speaking. Public speaking is always going to be helpful. Always. I mean, it's a skill that is useful um, at so many different points in life, and it takes a while to become comfortable to talk in front of audience. It takes a while, and the more experience you gather, the better. The more experience you gather. So the person who said, I'll debate, yeah, go ahead. You should debate if you have an interest in learning how to debate, in coming up with arguments and coming up with um, relevant talking points when you're looking at a subject, a topic. And also, the other thing is time management is extremely important. When you're debating, you don't have unlimited time. You may have like 3 minutes to to make your points, to present your argument. You may have 5 minutes, and maybe there's an opportunity for a rebuttal. I mean, look at the presidential debates, right? Those candidates, they don't get unlimited time. They may get like 60 seconds or something like that, and maybe 30 seconds to respond to something that the opponent said. And so anyway, to the person who said, I'll debate. Congratulations that you are interested in debating. Congratulations that you understand the importance of debating, and I wish you all the very best in your journey to becoming a debater. Okay, and I hope you can participate in debate competitions if that's what you enjoy doing. I think it's going to be great. So I wish you all the best. All right. Uh, let's see what other people have to say. Lawrence says, "Love this channel." Thank you, Lawrence. Lawrence, would you please encourage others to subscribe? Would you just please tell the others who are watching? Will you tell them, "Hey, everyone, you gotta subscribe. You gotta hit the like button and stay connected to this channel." Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Lawrence says, please subscribe and hit the like button. Lawrence, thank you. Okay. Okay, the viewer says, let's debate. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Yeah, I wish you all the best. I hope you get to do lots of debate. If you are in school, I don't know where you're writing from. I don't know your background, but if you are in school, if you are maybe attending the university someplace, look for debate clubs, okay, debating societies, and go and introduce yourself and sign up to participate in debates. Yeah, no, that's a lot of enthusiasm. You're saying, let's debate. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Um, Someone's asking why you trying not to debate. No, I have debated in my life many times. I have, and I'm happy to always. Always, I'm happy to debate on particularly if it's a topic that pertains to public policy, politics. I'm always happy to debate. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions for me? If you have more questions for me, let me know. Go ahead and let me know. Okay, so we're getting close to the 1 hour time mark. Should we wrap up today? It's 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. Maybe I should wrap up the conversation. I appreciate you all being here. All right. Someone said Trump is the greatest of all time. Absolutely. Absolutely. The greatest president. Undoubtedly. All right. All right. Thank you all so very much, my friends. Lawrence is saying, I hope Wisconsin is red this election cycle. Yes, red, Republican. Hoping for Republican victory in Wisconsin. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hoping for Republican victory. All right. Thank you so very much, my friends. I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to end this live stream here unless you have any final questions before I wrap this up. Um, no. All right. Okay. I'm not seeing any more questions. Thank you all so very much. May God bless you all. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless the Trump administration. May God bless the Republicans in Washington. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless our U.S. allies, and may God bless freedom-loving people all over the world. Thank you, my friends. I'm going to be back again very soon with more videos and more live streams. Please stay connected. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.